Hello, friends. Are you trustworthy?
Today's program's all about trust.
But Neville, are you trustworthy?
Who knows? Let's find out in the next 30 minutes.
Am I trustworthy?
Who knows?
Okay. So, everyone, please join us to know and discuss more about this word, very powerful word called trust.
See you shortly.
Hello, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmach Technologies, and welcome to Nation. And today, let me invite my friend from UK, from London, Mr. Neville Bond.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. It's a bright Monday morning. It's a bit cold, but it's a bright Monday morning in London. And what's going on in the world today? What's bright and we look forward to this week, CK?
Well, as you know, Naval, I'm actually in the north side of India, north part of India, and the temperature is probably as low as London. So we are experiencing 8 degrees today morning. I don't know how much it is now, but
Very
it's
similar. Very similar.
so it's quite dull, darkish, misty. It's not bright at all.
Well, I mean, the sun's up there somewhere. It may be cloudy and, behind the cloud, but it's definitely up there. It's always there. That's one thing we can be certain of. We don't have to think about it. We can trust in it. We can believe in it. And we've got a few things that we should be trusting and believing over the last few months because our scientists around the globe have been really keen at work trying to solve this pandemic problem of this pretty nasty virus. We had some great news last week. Another vaccine came onto the to the hit list that needs to go through all the approval processes. But have you got news about vaccines in India?
Neville, I must tell you that over the weekend, the Prime Minister of India hopped onto his the India One equivalent of Air Force One aircraft and went to 3 cities. And he personally took charge of the vaccine development. He actually went to visit the 3 different companies and factories to really understand how far the Indian manufacturers have reached in developing the vaccine. And so this is how important it is. You know, the Prime Minister taking a hop on his aircraft and going and meeting the chief executives of these 3 pharmaceutical companies. Uh, so we have heard in the news on the Saturdays and Sundays that all 3 companies are in the third stage of testing. So they are not talking about it. And we've also seen the vaccine from Oxford. Some of the state ministers have done or have shown the courage to do trial on them in front of the cameras. So all that is happening. So I think
Wow.
it is how important it is to have a vaccine for COVID because it is a question of survival of humanity.
You're absolutely right. It is survival of humanity because let's bear no two bones about this. COVID-19 is a killer. It attacks all ages. I mean, although the younger you are, the more immune you are to the impact of this virus. Um, you still get it. You still carry it. It's a flu virus at the end of the day, and it's a particularly nasty one at that. And all of the I've noticed with all of the vaccine discussions that are going on, certainly in the UK and the Western world, they show this pretty aggressive little termite type thing with Y chromosomes sticking outside of it, as though you want to bat it away and, you know, hit it for six once and for all. And it's a particularly nasty molecule, really. I mean, it really does grab hold of the human system and strangles it to death. I mean, that's effectively what's being said here. Those are the words that are being used in the phrases that are going around. But it's great that we've got In India, it's excellent that you've got, 3 vaccines underway, and they're in final testing, it would appear. Because this is just phenomenal stuff what these scientists have been doing in such a relatively small time frame. If you imagine, it takes, years for vaccines like this to be developed and approved. And now, even the authorities are keeping their efficacy up at a very high level, but pushing it through the approval process as fast as they can, because they know that this is almost like a savior, certainly for the aging population, because I'm in that category, being over 60 and a diabetic. I sort of fall into the at-risk arena. And every year I have the flu jab, and every year I tend to catch a little bit of the flu, which is particularly nasty sometimes. But let's look at one thing. We put, as I said, we put belief and trust that the sun comes up every day because it's at the center of the universe. So whether we can see it or not, it's actually there, and it comes up every day because of the rotation of the Earth around the sun, and the physical rotation that the Earth does on a 24-hour cycle. So we trust that the sun is there. We believe the sun's there. Even today, I mean, it's very difficult to get anyone that actually believes the Earth's flat, and the sun moves around us. So if anyone's out there, good luck with that one, because it's been proven that the sun is the center of the universe, so get over it. But it's this word trust, I think, I'd like to sort of investigate today. How do you trust this vaccine? Do you trust that people are going to go through the process in these 3 different vaccines that you've got going in India? Do you trust the processes? Do you trust the people? Do you trust your government? Big question, really. But what's your thought? What's your take on that, CK?
It's a very good question, Neville. Before I respond to you, I will also narrate a small story which happened today morning. And I was walking on the roof of my house, and I could hear some voices coming from the neighborhood. And I could not help eavesdropping on my neighbors. So there were 2 neighbors talking in their balconies, and they were talking about the same subject that we are talking today. And it's about the lady is saying, the gentleman, that hey, whatever will happen. You can't stop it, and you just have to make sure that you take care, precautions, social distancing, and all that. But I think this is a part of the conversation on wider angle. I mean, if you just not 2 people, but I think everybody is talking about this. And I think, to answer your question specifically, the effort that counts. The intention of the government is very fair. The intentions of the scientists is absolutely crisp. They know that they cannot deliver a 100% cure, because even for tuberculosis, it took 10 years to develop the complete foolproof vaccine. So it's a very short period of time, but they are, with certain assumptions, they are able to say that, hey, it is going to work for 60% of the people. So I think the first thing to do is to ensure that you don't get COVID. You ensure that you maintain your uh, best practices to prevent COVID coming into your own home. And second thing is, there will be hope after a couple of months that at least 60 to 70% of the people who suffers from COVID can recover. So I think that's a very good. You mentioned about belief and trust. I think I thoroughly trust the efforts of the government, of all the corona warriors, and also our scientists thoroughly.
Well, it's good that you do, because actually we can't do everything. We haven't got the capacity or the capability to do everything ourselves. From the day we're born, we trust in our parents, we trust in our relations, we trust in the environment, we trust the fact that everywhere's clean around us. So, one thing that babies do is they stick their fingers in their mouth, you know. Um, and as we get older, we notice that we keep doing it. So, and that's without eating. but we do things, and we do things automatically, and trust is one thing we do. And this is the arena where we put our faith in those that are doing the best they can, because these scientists are not out there to beat somebody else. They're not motivated by beating someone else to the solution. They're motivated by getting the best solution. And that's what we put our trust in. And it's great that your Prime Minister, jumped on his equivalent of Air Force One or whatever it is, and went to these 3 different cities. So big tick in his box. Congratulations for doing that. And for those coming forward that have tested this vaccine, because remember, we've got some huge corona warriors that have gone out there and put their life at risk and gone through the testing regime. So we can be eternally grateful for the thousands, tens of thousands of people around the globe that have put their life out there to save ours. So this is almost like, they are soldiers of a different kind. And I think that's where we are in the 21st century. We all need to be a soldier. So thank you for helping us. We're putting our trust in the people that are taking it on further. And there's no need to doubt that trust, because these people are literally trying to do their best. And I think that's where I'd like to sort of start the week off, really. Trust people 100%. When you first meet them, just trust them 100%. Don't have to then win your trust. They will demonstrate their trust by what they do. Are they worthy of your trust? Well, they'll demonstrate it. And you and I, CK, see that in business all the time. People say they're going to do something and then they don't. That just demonstrates one thing. They're not committed, and therefore they've lost the trust that we gave them. So don't wait 3 months to build up trust. You can give trust immediately. I think that's the message of the day that I'd like to leave everybody. And there's going to be a few people saying, well, what do you mean give them 100% trust? Go and try it. With the new acquaintances you're making this week, and I'm talking about the business arena, obviously, whether it's on LinkedIn, Twitter, any social media platform, and they ask you to connect, trust them implicitly. And then say, what can we do together? And if they don't come back and within 3 or 4 days and suggest something, then actually there's pointless having that discussion going forward. But prompt it. Prompt the thought. Keep that trust right out there. How's that for a message at the beginning of the week?
I think this is a very powerful message, Neville. In fact, it's a very good direction to the viewers of this program that in the digital world, which is becoming reality and more, I think the physical ways of your networking are slowly dwindling away. So you need to realize the reality of the next decade, which is going to be digital. That means you need to know how to use digital platform, and trust is one of the key elements, because you don't see the person on the other side. Only you, one thing you have, which is not, is sort of an abstract, which is trust.
You're absolutely right. So let's see, if you want to connect with me on social media, come and connect with me. I will trust you implicitly from day one. All you got to do is show it's worthwhile, and let's go and do something.
Absolutely, Neville. So thank you very much for finding time and talking to us and helping us start our week with this very powerful message around trust, around Corona warriors, and hopefully we will come out of this pandemic together as one Earth very soon.
Absolutely. That's one thing that's going to happen. Nice to see you, CK. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy your week.
Bye-bye.